Welcome back to The Hidden Thought. What is lying? And when is lying okay? Is omitting a few details really lying? We'll examine this today on The Hidden Thought.
Releasing one from the prison of their own mind. Come in, unwind. Welcome to The Hidden Thought.
Is omission lying? To those who practice a high degree of secrecy, they would say, surely it is not. You don't need to tell everybody everything, right? Then what is lying? It is my understanding that failing to give full detail to the asker of a question when one has the opportunity to is lying. Oh, K.E., you don't tell nobody everything. So who does omitting details favor? Well, as we talked about in a previous show, surely it serves TMI people to not be responsible for sharing full detail. Because presenting the fullness of details lays everything out on the table for everyone to see. So then who would favor the omission of details? Those who find flaws in the way they operate. Hey, if you're flawless, if you're doing your thing and it has the least amount of kinks in it, you don't mind people laying the full details out on the table. But if you have errors in your ways, you might need a little more discretion until you get your program together. And if you never get your program together, surely you will need a little more discretion for a great longer period of time, maybe for an eternity. We're all good at something. We don't mind full details being shared about the things that we have overcome or conquered. It's only the things that we have not overcome or things that we don't foresee ourselves overcoming that we need people not to see in order for us to maintain this image of perfection that we would like to perceive ourselves to be. I mean, we say all the time, well, nobody's perfect. Well, if that is the case, why not lay all the full details out on the table? Because we live in a world where people do take others' imperfections and possibly use it against them. Why? Because they are often underachieving themselves. If I am doing well and I can't be stopped, I can't be defeated doing my thing, I don't have time to pick out imperfections with you. But when I don't really have much business of my own, that gives everyone a chance to look at me and see my imperfections and make issue with it if it is their desire to do. Therefore, we may not want all the details laid out on the table. But when it comes to lying, or what could be perceived as lying, omission, sometimes the omission is used to defend the guilty. Sometimes the omission may end up saving you. Because we are not perfect. We do some things perfectly. Those are never the concerns. It's the things that we do not do perfectly that we do not want representing the whole of us. There is an ongoing discussion that I've had with many of my friends and strangers. Do other people make you lie to them? Some would say absolutely not. If you lie, it's because you decided to lie. They totally ignore the situations that would put a person in a position where they had to tell someone a lie. Small or great. Now, of course, you can tell anyone the truth. But this is the reality. You can tell anyone the truth that you are not, one, economically dependent upon. If you never need a favor from this person has never done anything for you, they're not a backup source for you, you could tell that person anything you want to at any time. If it is someone that you have fallen on for a favor here or there, you don't want to tick that person off with the truth, for you may need them again. It could be for a short loan. It could be for a favor at like, come pick me up, come drop me off, come be with me while I'm going through this minor transition. Anybody that you absolutely need in favor, you're a little more precautious to tell them things that you know might upset them. That is a fact that we all deal with. And if that person cannot handle everything you have to present to them, then you might omit a few things. You'll omit the things that make them feel uncomfortable. The person that you're never borrowing from doesn't matter, unless you think they have something that may potentially be of support to you in a time of need. May not be anyone that you've ever borrowed anything from before. But as you assess your needs, as you assess things going out of sort, out of the blue, and what you may need, and what one person has in resources as opposed to another, you may not tell them everything either, if you know their personality. If you know what upsets them, though you've never borrowed anything, you may hold a few things to yourself that you really want to tell them or share with them, maybe even things that they have asked, maybe in conversations that you've had with them before, just over anything, world events, something in the neighborhood, whatever the case may be, and you find yourself with an opposing point of view, you just might hold that to yourself, just in case you ever need them for anything. We kind of fool ourselves into playing diplomats when we're actually really just saving this person's favor for a rainy day, in hopes that if you never tick them off, if you ever needed them, maybe they'll rescue you. Welcome to The Hidden Thought. Come with me on a deep dive into the reasons behind our motivations. The Hidden Thought is not a place for debating, for there's nothing to debate, and devil's advocates are not welcomed here. For your precious time, I simply offer my unique and different point of view that in my humble analysis, we may find the reasons why we do the things that we do. All based upon the concept that no one wants to be the lesser representation of self. In these series of introspections, the purpose is that we solve the mysteries that have kept us from getting on to the better parts of our walk. A moment to contemplate your hidden thought. Have you ever wondered what makes boys do the things that we do? Through Snakes and Snails, the reader receives an insight that allows the reader to partake in an honesty about men that has never before been shared. For the female reader, Snakes and Snails is a hidden treasure. Immerse yourself in Snakes and Snails, a view into the male mind from A to Z.
Available now on Amazon, Kindle, and Ingram Spark. Once you pick it up, you won't be able to put it down.
I share, baby, it's just your eyes going nowhere. Baby, wait until you turn back when I stare. Baby, this is a bar. I'm a fly human being, girl, you just ain't seeing. Hold on, give me a chance, give me a chance. Just let me prove my love. Hold on, I'm not egging you on. I understand you don't know what to do when the love's so strong. Hold on, you see me running behind you, so sure trying to get you. Hold on, I see something in you that I adore. I'm gonna give you what you never had before. He wasn't trying to see us going nowhere. No matter how hard I try, my help, not once denied. So stuck on yourself, and that was your demise. For my help, my nerves you lie. Get me wrong, mistaking my love for love. Being alone, now every subject we buzz. For this song, no more making it cut. Now you see me gleaming and you're running back or screaming like a demon. Hold on, give you a chance, give you a chance. Just let you prove your love. Hold on, give me tonight, let me do you right before the love's all gone. Hold on, look at you running behind me, top speed trying to get me to hold on. How come you never saw me before? Girl, I don't even want it no more. You really I should have do what you bet your money on. Shake my butt, but now the love is gone. Your eyes so silly to hurt whatever. Now it's gone and hurt yourself. Really try to play it's obvious in your eyes. Come and say to hold on to love for, but you just baby blowing up till it's this high. Hold on, give me a chance, give me a chance. Just let me prove my love. Hold on, it's down to the bone. Your pattern is sticking with you before the love's all gone. Hold on, you might be running behind me, top speed trying to get me to hold on. And you're all baby, I'm gone. How'd your meal take it to kick it? I wanted to love you, babe. Wanted to love you, babe. Wanted to love you, babe.
dare to expose yourself.
In thought.
In thought.
Just thought.
In thought.
We're on the air.
Your hidden thought.
Jeez.
We all have things happen. And no man or woman is an island. As much as we would like to think that we're so independent, there are only a rare few of us who are actually that independent. And those independent people are usually carrying the load of many other people. 2, you'll tell the truth to someone that you don't find attractive. If you don't think that this person is someone that you want to, appeal to, you'll tell them the flat out truth. You really ain't but so cute. So, we can talk, but you better not tick me off, because then I might tell you the whole truth. These are things that we do. Everybody, oh, not me, huh? Yeah, okay. Okay. The only someone, and as far as in the department of attractiveness, the only someone who tells the absolute truth all the time are the pretty people. You'll have to get the Snakes and Snails book to find out exactly who the pretty people are and to see where you land in the stack according to some of the details in the book. Yeah, because we're all different, but we've definitely had some of the same common experiences in relationships to love and relations. Why would we ourselves desire to not have all the details laid out on the table? Maybe when we ourselves are finding ourselves the subject of someone's lack of desire. Boy, when you realize, the lackluster way you felt about some other particular people, that someone you're interested in feels the same way about you. Those are not details that we ever really want to share with anybody else. In that case, we may want to keep the subject of a conversation anonymous. I have a friend, or I knew somebody that was in this situation. And some people, they get a clue and say, oh, you were, huh? You were in that situation. Or maybe there's just some situation that has arisen. And maybe it's someone that you really care about. Sharing all the details is only good when people overcome. But if people have an issue that is persistent and maybe nobody sees the end to, that may be a time for some discretion. That may be a time to keep the subject of a conversation anonymous. Why do we keep subjects of conversations anonymous? Often to protect those that we love, and sometimes to protect the guilty. People practice keeping the subjects of conversations anonymous in case they become the subject of a conversation later. Some really appreciate that, because if they know who you're talking about, but they recognize that you're not calling them completely out, some may think to themselves, Well, this is an ally that I need to have, because I could see that if they won't out this person, maybe they won't out me either, if they find flaw in what I'm doing. So there's a shroud of secrecy that people practice, that when you start clearly defining what lying is, or what a lie is, it looks like you're starting trouble. Hey, I have practiced not offending people as well, and it has required me not to tell people the entire truth. But I can tell you where that leads. Before my paradigm shift, starting in the year of 99, 2000, I used to tell people what I knew wouldn't tick them off. Because back then, I felt like I needed people a whole lot more than I grew to know that I really do not. Here's the problem. When someone finds out that you omitted something, they may wonder, what else did you omit? When there really may not be much. That little lie that you told to keep from hurting someone's feelings could have been just one lie, maybe two small ones, out of 10, 20. But whenever a person finds out that you've been withholding some information, or they find out that you have just lied to them, even to save their feelings, you're going to be a whole lie. Your dignity is going to be in question for the rest of the time that that person knows you, unless you do something so dramatic and convincing that that person knows that it was just a momentary error, that it was you in your immaturity and at your graduating steps. The other problem is when you get to the point where you don't want to be called a liar and you start telling people the whole brutal truth, you'll find out that you're doing the wrong thing then too. Because you're going to run into the TMI people who can only take portions of the truth, 3/4 of the truth, 75% of the truth, but not the whole truth. So even in telling the whole truth, you can be in the wrong with people. So now this just leaves you in a whirlwind. Where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? If you get caught telling a small lie to help keep people's emotion in check, you're a liar for eternity if you get caught. If you tell people the whole truth and they're not ready for it, well, you didn't have to go that far. You know?
This is Heston Cleveland
and Ricardo Love.
And this is the Indie Hookup.
The Indie Hookup.
Hook me up, baby.
We got the hookup for you. For show now. The hookup on playlist. The hookup on radio. The hookup on internet radio. The hookup on interview. The hookup on college radio. The hookup on information you need. The Indie
Hookup.
Advertise on the Indie Hookup. You got a business, you got a service, you got a product, then you need advertising. Radio is still one of the best way to advertise to get your business, your product, your service known. We'll produce a commercial for you that you also can use on your social media. We'll even add visuals to it for your social media posts. To get your commercial done, contact us at theindiehookup@gmail.com. That's INDY hookup@gmail.com. Get your commercial done today.
I need to know but you ain't never gonna get it right. All I do is feed your greedy appetite. Mr. Unreliable, you know the only thing I like about you. You give me calm.
You so soft. Girl, you so soft. Now piss me off.
Now so did you done piss me off.
She be trembling, but I need her.
He doesn't need you anymore. He doesn't need you anymore. Oh, she doesn't need you anymore. No, she don't.
Only thing I like about you.
No, I don't.
Another perspective. Not what you expected. The hidden thought. I was once in a communications class at the College of Alameda in the Bay Area. In chapter 12 of this 14-chapter book, I read a passage that said, in order to be the best communicator, you have to know to whom and when to give certain information. That confused me. I went to the instructor and then I said to her, so what this is saying is, in order to be a good communicator, you have to learn when to lie. She said, no, that's not what it means. I said, okay, well, explain to me how omitting certain parts of information when dealing with a person is not lying to them. And she was confused. She had to believe that what she was teaching in that class and out of that book was the proper ways of communication. Now, I will say, on earth today, that was absolutely right. Because of the TMI people. You're going to give someone full details that's going to flash on you? No, that's what the passage was saying. So in essence, what the passage was also saying is that in order to be the best communicator, you have to know to whom and when to disseminate certain informations, to give them what they can handle. No more, no less. To lie to them. Lying and the keeping of secrets. The keeping of secrets is necessary either when a person is subject to be dishonest, or when a person just simply wants to avoid the ridicule of being imperfect. One needs to lie, deny, and cover up when they feel like their errors and issues are insurmountable, something that they can never overcome. In that case, the person is not going to stop talking or communicating with other people, and they're going to be expressing their ideas when they're not ones who can actually stand the whole truth. So their fragmented ideas, when recognized, the response is usually, well, that's not my truth. That's your truth. There is but one truth. Well, how you know what the truth is, K.E.? Anything that you do not want to happen to you or anyone that you love, that is the truth. When we can't lay all the evidence down on the table and just look at things for what they are without becoming distraught about it, that's when we need different versions of the truth. When there is but one truth. So how do we stop all of this madness? Well, every subject matter simply has to have a point of reference. What is a point of reference? It's the knowledge of a thing from its inception. No matter what you're talking about, it has a point of origin. The earliest account of its existence, or the thought thereof, the historical account of use, is the point of reference. Now again, someone who can't succumb to the simple historical fact of a thing, they'll argue back and forth about the historical origins of that thing, just so they appear not to be in the wrong. If you do not have a point of reference over the conversation that you're conversing over, anybody can say anything at any time and have it go. And you know what backs up a person being able to say anything they want at any time and have it go? Physical might. Hey, quote me on this. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you're thinking about. I don't care at all. If you can't kick my butt, if you can physically overcome me and take from me, and I can't defend myself and I can't stop you, whatever you say becomes the law. And that's what we're living under here on planet Earth today. Our living is not about right or wrong. We know right from wrong, but we go along with processes because if we don't, someone will hurt us, either physically or economically. Now, that is a fact that most men would never like to acknowledge. For no man wants to feel like any other man is determining the circumference of their activities. No man. But when you consider what we're drinking, what we're inhaling, breathing, what is being put in some of the things that we eat, surely you would have not done that to yourself. We hear the reports on the news off and on all the time about people, carrying out processes and procedures that are not for the benefit of people. Well, who would do such? Who has the right to do something that does not benefit people? Whoever has the physical might to. Your and my objective is to not leave planet Earth with our spirits weaker than it was before we came in. Fear not those who have power to kill the body that we're going to leave behind one day anyway, but to those who have the power to kill the spirit that goes on with you after we leave this shell behind. A moment to contemplate your hidden thought.
Love Vibes. Hey, this is Ricardo Love from Love Vibes on KYBN. I just want to tell you about this great tool called the Getting to Know You Experience.
The Getting to Know You Experience.
Getting to Know You Experience. What it is, it's a game that's not a game that you play, quotation marks, with one other person, a group of people, even by yourself, to find out compatibility. What you want, what they want, what you desire in a mate, what they desire in a mate, what their philosophies about relationships are, and what yours are.
Compatibility.
In one setting, you'll be able to find out if you're compatible with this person. This is an excellent, fun tool to find out if you want to be their friend, their lover, their soulmate, or you don't even want to be associated with them at all. You can't just sit down and ask a million questions with people, but this game, that's not a game, gives you an excuse to get inside, to find out, to not waste your time. It's called the Getting to Know You Experience, and you can get it at payhip.com/qualified2love. That's payhip.com/qualified2love for only $2.
The Getting to Know You Experience.
Getting to Know You Experience.
You don't have to be nobody's hero. Doing your heart what you know is right. Let them see inside what you are made of. They'll catch up, stand firm and shine your light. Lazy souls will dump their baggage on you. Doesn't matter that they criticize. Doesn't matter if they recognize you. At least no one can ever say you lie. All you've got to do is be the light. All you've got to do is be the light. Conflicted. Life on earth is beautifully wicked. Taught the golden rule and it feels right to you, but the broken hearted just don't get it. Can't stop yourself from giving. You're the best thing that's living. It's not wrong to be kind and know you're not losing your mind. It's alright. You don't have to be nobody's hero. Doing your heart what you know is right. Let them see inside what you are made of. They'll catch up, stand firm and shine your light. Lazy souls will dump their baggage on you. Doesn't matter that they criticize. Doesn't matter if they recognize you. At least no one can ever say you lie. All you got to do is be the light. All you've got to do is be the light. Deceptive, hard to judge another's objectives. Trying to convince you that a lie is true and that love is a warped perspective. Critical, when love is not reciprocal. At minimal, you go along to get along because this might not be your home. People are hurting, no knowledge of ourselves. Born to people who are hurting. Living half your life feeling like you were a burden. They were just portals to bring you here to this experience. Please believe no one wants to underachieve, so forgive them cause they really don't know. You ain't got to be nobody's hero. This place is screwed beyond what you could do. You came here to manifest your magic. So be the light until your days are through. No fear in love, you'll never die. Use what you have in your spirit. Use what you have and will a win inspire. You never lose when you emit your light. All you have to do is do what's right. Be kind to those in need. Be the light. All you have to do is be the light. Don't be afraid to be the light. To be the light. Be the light. To be the light. To be the light. To be the light. To be the light. Over here, there's a safe place for your hidden thought.
Lies, alibis, shakes, and fries. Lies. Surely for the lies there must be some retribution, right? I think you would call it karma. You know, if it's truly a lie, then surely it would have karma attached to it. Karma. The villain is 86 years old. The dictator. He has diabetes, heart trouble. Topping it off, he has cancer. Surely he got what he deserved, right? Well, so does your uncle, who's 56. He has diabetes. He has the gout, high blood pressure, heart trouble, and he been battling cancer too. Well, you don't know what that dictator, went through in his personal life. You don't know. It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. But why does karma have to be such a mystery? You know when karma is effective? When karma actually works? When karma is returned to the source that sent the offense out in a way that's undeniable.
Oh my God.
An undeniable return to the offender in a way where there's no mistake about why they're getting the return that they're getting.
I just had a hit and run, and then she.
Without that, what is the use of karma? Some people are too ignorant to recognize when karma has returned to them if it does not return to them from the source that they offended. Something really dramatic can happen to someone who has really screwed someone else over in a way that they should not have. And if it doesn't come back from the person that they screwed over, some people's head is so dense they're like, man, I wonder why they did that. Why did you do what you did? They don't even make the relation. And that's when karma becomes a waste. If an instrument does not make the sound that it's made to make, what use is it? We can't even call the instrument what we intended to call it. Surely if you made a saxophone and it sounded like a clarinet, well then people would be confused. No, in this world, it is simple that what goes around simply comes around. There is a school of thought that there is such thing as a power of attraction. I don't think that it helps to think negatively before attempting to manifest something. But I don't think, from my experience, that just thinking positively will bring a thing. If you go to bake a cake, regular old cake, you got flour, you got sugar, you got milk, you don't have any eggs. It's going to be something, but it ain't going to be cake. Why? Because all of the ingredients that it took to make cake were not present. Likewise, for a thing to work out, whatever it is, all of the ingredients must be there in the time that the attempt is being made in order for a thing to manifest itself. All the positive thinking in the world won't change the outcome. The glass that's half empty is half full. 50-50 is 50-50. Why are we so fragile that we can't just acknowledge that fact without falling to pieces? The glass that is half empty is half full and vice versa. I tell you what kind of karma I have. I have good parking karma. For all of the walking that I did back home in Texas comes my good parking karma. If you ride with me, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that I park closer to the door than anybody you ever rode with. That is for sure. You ask my wife about it, you ask my friends. See, that is something that I can see directly. It's proven itself, time and time over again. No, all you can ever do is be the light that you desire to see in the world. And expect the trials to come and attempt to overcome them with everything that you have and keep a focus on the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So where are we going? Well, wherever you go, just meet me back here next week on The Hidden Thought. Don't get mad, I'm your friend. Today's show has been brought to you by the Black Nova Experience, Qualified to Love, Odie's signing service, and Your Life Back. Wouldn't you like to have your life back? Come again, because we're going in. Thank you for allowing me to bring to the surface your hidden thought.